Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Tapping Tuesday. My name is Chantel, and I come live every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. MST, and we do a live tapping session together. Really quickly, if you don't know what tapping is, it stands for EFT is the acronym for the nickname tapping, which is emotional freedom techniques. And it's techniques because there's several in our arsenal as far as what we can do with tapping. And I like to think of tapping as um, energetic acupuncture. So we tap on the meridian points, the energy points that are mapped out throughout our entire body system. And instead of using needles, we use literally just our fingertips. So tapping in at our fingertips along the meridian lines and the energy points that are mapped out innately all throughout our bodies and really helps us to speak to our subconscious because quite often we have such great goals and ideas and things for our life that we really want to manifest, whether it's a physical manifestation or an emotional manifestation or even a mental manifestation. Um, and quite often, what we feel like might be the hurdle or the roadblock is only the very tip of the iceberg, so to speak. So, if you are joining me live, I would love to send you some love. If you want to at mention a friend or a family member, just hey, just say hello. Hey, Mocha, I see you. And so we're definitely going to do a tapping session here live together, as long as you're in a safe place to do so. Before we do that, I want to speak into today's energy just a little bit. So I flipped my chair this is my EFT room, and I flipped my chair just facing the other direction. And behind me is this gorgeous photo, which I thought was so fitting for today, where it has this dock that's walking out onto the water. And I'll be honest, the reason why it's like sitting so low is because my lights reflect into the picture, and I didn't like that. So I think I'm going to keep this direction, but I'm going to see if I can cover the lights somehow, and just make it a little bit softer. So um, yeah, but like just think of that. Today's energy, if you're joining me live, is August 24th of 2021. But know that if you're catching me on the replay, this message is absolutely meant for you, and you're meant to land here and hear this. Today is one of my favorite days. Speaking energetically, today is a one, and the one is what you might just be thinking about. It's about brand new beginnings, fresh starts. It's about saying yes and going for it. It's about allowing yourself to receive what it is you actually want that feels like it's part of your future, the stuff that you want to actually manifest into your life. And so I thought how fitting to have this doc here where the one is really asking you to take action. You've been thinking about something, you've had some ideas. And so, how can you actually take some action on that today? Doesn't have to be a big, huge action, but just something towards that direction. Because as the one energy comes in, and it's universally, if you are a human or an animal or a being on this planet Earth, or any of the other planets in the cosmos, you are feeling this one energy today. And this one really wants you to have all of your desires. It wants you to take all of these ideas and intuitions and just really curious thoughts about what you could actually create and take some action towards it. And that's really what you're being supported and really encouraged to do today, specifically. And so if you're feeling like, on the shadow side of that, right? If you're feeling like I'm not sure I'm quite ready, or if you're doubting yourself, you can get in your head a little bit too much about it and you can start to overthink. And so when we talk about numerologically what the waves and particles of literally what the energy is in the universe today, you can take either side of it. It just depends on how in aligned you are with yourself. So just ask yourself for a moment here, is there something that comes up for you when you just think, I wonder if that one idea that I had, or that this goal that I've had, is this something truly that I'm ready to go for, or does it feel like just by having the awareness around whatever it was that you were wanting to create might lead into what feels like something even better, something even more meant to be? Maybe that original idea was only meant to be an idea in order for you to move forward into your true possibility, your true potentiality, your true, let me create this instead. And I think that so many of us can think, we can overthink it, and we can think that all of the ideas that we have are meant to be born. And that's just not true. We are meant to have ideas flow to us, through us, in us, of us, in order to inspire us. And so, if it's something that's truly an inspiration, and truly from your spirit, in spirit, then it's meant to be. So maybe just ask yourself, what is something that I feel like I have been waiting so long to take action towards? And know that today, of all days, you are supported in the universe by taking that action and going for it. I would love to know if anything's coming up for you. You could type it in the comments below, and I will support you. I will see you, and so will everyone else that will ever watch this live back or that might be here live right now. So um, let's go ahead and let's do some tapping around this. So let's have an idea in mind and know that this first round is definitely the venting stage. So we're going to say some stuff that seems very negative, because it is. And it's probably something that if you're not consciously thinking of it, you are subconsciously thinking of it. We're going to tap in order to bring that to the surface, in order to wipe it out and truly get into the manifestation phase of what it is that you are wanting to create. So stick with me. All right. Okay. As long as you're in a safe place to do so, let's go ahead and close your eyes. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water, because this is energy work. You are physiologically changing. Your blood pressure lowers, your nervous system regulates, your heartbeat slows, your lymphatic system even starts to move quicker. And so because of that, you want to make sure that you're hydrating yourself. It's just like doing a physical workout from the inside out. All right, so you can keep your eyes closed. Otherwise, you can open them if you prefer. We're going to go ahead and start to tap right on the side of the hand. Ooh, I love these comments that are coming through. Hey, Christine. I love it. All right. So let's say, even though I can tend to get really nostalgic about my past, I realize that that's not truly helping me to move into my future. And I love and accept myself anyways. Even though I have such specific ideas that I want to create in the world, sometimes I think I have so many ideas that I overthink them all. And I love and accept myself anyways. Sometimes it seems like my past is so different from what I want to create in my future. And I love and accept myself anyways. All right, we're gonna go to the top of the head. I can allow myself to start to wallow in my past. Eyebrow point. I'm also realizing that I can allow myself to start to get really overwhelmed thinking about my future. Side of the eye. And I think that I overthink. Underneath the eyes. I tend to have an all or none kind of personality. Underneath the nose. I tend to think that if I can't do it perfectly, underneath the mouth, then I'm not even going to try. Collarbone points. It feels like I want to know all of the answers first. underneath the arms, before I take any action steps towards my future. Underneath the chest, like I want to control the outcome. Wrist point, like I want to think of all of the possible scenarios. And once I have them figured out, then I'll take action. Top of the head. But that's the problem. I can't possibly know all of the possible outcomes. Eyebrow point. And just staying on this hamster wheel of needing to know. Side of the eye. It keeps me on the hamster wheel. Underneath the eyes. And it feels like underneath the nose. It feels kind of like muck just gets stuck in my body. Underneath the mouth. Like the more ideas that come to me, the more muckier I get. Underneath the collarbone points. And the more confused I get. Underneath the arms. Like the more ideas that come to me, the more clogged everything becomes in my body. Underneath the chest. And I think it's been like this forever. I think that I've been an overthinker pretty much my whole fucking life. Let's go top of the head. And I'm open to the possibility that I can completely shift this thinking today. All right, take a deep breath. Notice what's coming up for you right now. That venting stage always feels a little rough, like sandpaper, like itchy wool sweaters to me. But really speaking to your subconscious and allowing all of those thoughts to come out because they're sitting there anyways, we might as well move them into the universe and let the universe transmute it for us. So just think of whatever that first idea was that you had before we started tapping. Is it still the same? Does it feel like maybe it shifted a little bit? Does it feel like, oh, actually something that was 3 ideas below that is what feels like is more part of my future? And just get curious about it and just allow yourself to truly transmute that idea that everything needs to come to fruition if we have the idea, and that you literally can change the way that you've been thinking your whole life, that it has to be all or none, or that it has to be whatever it might be that was forever, and create your future from it. All right, we're going to go ahead and do a second round here. We'll start to bridge the gap here. Even though I do have such big and specific dreams for my life, I'm really starting to realize that I've been living in my past. Because some of these old thoughts that I've had are creeping back up. These thoughts like, I have to know all of the outcomes before I take action. And I'm open today to the idea that I can completely shift this thought process. And even though what I really want to do today is to take inspired action, I kind of feel like I don't know how. But I'm also curious that I might not actually need to know how. That all I need is inspiration in order to take action. Even though I have been an all or none kind of personality my whole life, I wonder what would happen if I just choose one thing right now. One thing or idea that I want to grow. Maybe if I did that, I would get more clarity. All right, let's go to the top of the head. I wonder if I just allowed myself right now, eyebrow point, to think of one inspired idea that I've had for a while. Side of the eye, and allow that inspired idea that I have underneath the eyes to get bigger and brighter. Underneath the nose. I think I could allow that one idea to get bolder. Underneath the mouth. And for now, just allow all the other ideas to fade into the background. Collarbone point. Maybe that's my course of action. Underneath the arms. Maybe if I focus on one specific idea right now, underneath the chest, that will be what I'm seeking in order to feel like I'm moving forward with my desired future dreams. Wrist point. With my such big ideas that I have for my life that I'm not even sure I've said them out loud before. Top of the head. So I'm going to say them out loud right now. All right, here's your chance. Say them out loud, speak them into existence. I'm not going to cue you when to switch positions. You just go ahead and innately switch. You know all the points. Deep breath, speak them out loud now. I love it. Now say, I may not have all of the answers as to the how-tos. Keep switching points. But what I feel like I could lean into is this emotional state that I'm feeling right now. I think that I could actually start to believe that if I can feel it, I can create it. That all of these wishes and desires and ideas that I have sitting inside of me, bubbling up and waiting to be manifested, is completely possible. All right, let's stop there. Take a deep breath. I think so many mentors and coaches and healers and whatever else you want to kind of uh, define or use a logo as for what I do in my personal work when I'm working with people. What I find fascinating is that what I'm going through right now is what I will then coach and teach in the very near future. And so I have always been one that it was right at the cusp, right at the edge, the forefront, a thought leader. And, teaching Pilates 18 years ago, nobody knew what Pilates was 18 years ago. I mean, very, very few people did. And it was something that was so cutting edge, so edge of the seat, so new age thinking, part of the future. And that's really what EFT is right now. I wholeheartedly believe that emotional freedom techniques will become a household name. Everyone in the world, they are worthy, and are deserving of knowing that we can just tap on these meridian points that are innately just gifted to us as part of our physical bodies, and be able to calm our nervous system and be able to literally turn the default mode off just for a moment in order to really call in what it is that we are wanting in our lives. And so I encourage you so much to keep tapping every single day. Come back, watch the videos. You can scroll through my Facebook page. If you're interested in doing private sessions with me, of course, I can get you that information as well. But I just get so excited when I start talking about this stuff, because now we are going into the manifestation, the affirmations, all of the things that we probably have been writing down, right? I used to be like the person that wrote all of the affirmations on a post-it note and put it everywhere. And then I wondered, like, is this stuff not necessarily coming true? And this is why. It's fascinating when we dive into the brain and we understand what it is that we're actually thinking below the surface. So I'm just going to read a couple of these comments. Oh, Mocha, I'm going to see you. I'm going to go ahead and put this up here. So Mocha said, an individualized wellness program incorporating all that I have learned. Absolutely. So the one today also, it's about new ideas and fresh beginnings, but it's also really about taking all of the wisdom that you already possess and then moving that into something that feels brand new, something that feels fresh and super exciting for you to say, this is what I'm going to do. This is like, just even saying it out loud now, that's part of the action. That can be all of the action. And then take the next inspired action. All right. I just wanted to see you there. Yeah, Christine. I read that as so freaking cool, but I think you meant so fucking cool. So I'm going to say it because I know you, my friend, you're an off-bomber like me. Okay, I'm going to read this as well. Fantastic tapping session. Every word you spoke is absolutely true. What a great way to move forward to where you want to be. I'm grateful to be in my peaceful place in this world. Absolutely. Let's find some peace and contentment in order to truly manifest and call into our lives what we really want. So let's do one more round and we'll do the affirmation stage. Yeah, Christine said it is. Fucking cool. I know sometimes I have to put the asterisk because otherwise I get flagged. I've been warned by Instagram so many times to stop F-bombing, but I can't help it. All right, here we go. Top of the head. Today, I choose to follow this inspired idea. Eyebrow point. Today of all days, when I am supported by the universal energy of one. Side of the eye. I'm going to choose to take action. Underneath the eyes. Because I choose me. Underneath the nose. I'm just going to allow myself to recognize for a moment, underneath the mouth, that I haven't always chosen me. Collarbone point. And I give myself permission to completely forgive myself because of that. Underneath the arms. And in light of this recognition, I'm going to give myself permission to choose me underneath the chest. And whatever feels so inspirational to me today, wrist point, maybe there's something in every area of my life, in my relationships, in my business, in my body. Top of the head. I'm going to allow myself to choose me first. Eyebrow point, because when I choose me, first and foremost, side of the eyes, that is the most selfless act possible. Underneath the eyes. And that can be my first course of action. Underneath the nose. And as I allow myself to choose me and to take inspired action based on these amazing ideas that I have within, underneath the mouth, it feels like all of that monk that I could feel built up. Collarbone point, it's starting to move. It's starting to feel like all of the sluggishness is moving out. Underneath the arms, it's freeing my body up. Underneath the chest and clearing me for my future ahead. Wrist point. So while I've been so nostalgic about my past in the past, top of the head, I'm going to allow myself to move forward into my future with force, with such command of my energy. Eyebrow point, because that's what I'm deserving of. Side of the eye. I waited so long to make these moves. Underneath the eyes. Today is the day. Underneath the nose. Today is the day that I ultimately choose me. Underneath the mouth. And by doing so, I choose freedom. Collarbone point. This is the ultimate emotional freedom. And that feels like the truest and the highest form of me. Underneath the arms. And so I choose me. Underneath the chest. And I'm getting really, really excited to do that next step. All right. Keep your eyes closed, hand over hand. Place your hands on your hearts and ask yourself, what is my next step? What is the next piece of action that I can do that will move me towards the future that I desire? And whatever came up for you, allow that to wash over you. Feel free to say that out loud now. You can say it out loud to yourself. You can type it in the chat and allow us to all witness it with you. Again, whether you're live right now or watching this back on the replay, allow us all to witness it for you and with you. And maybe if you can, you'll turn off this video and go and journal about it. Maybe you'll turn off this video and just go do it. All right, everyone. Signing off for today. I so appreciate you all. And I love being here on these Tuesdays with you all. I channel in some ideas and some thoughts and feel into the energy of what you all are probably sensing. And it feels like this could be anxious energy, right? Like at the edge of my seat, like, let me just go, let me go, let me go, let me go. But let yourself go, allow yourself to feel like you've retracted some in order to, like those little push cars, you pull back in order to move at such a faster speed that you don't even sense the speed. All right. Get curious, Christine. Ask questions is my next get clear. Yes. Get curious. Just get curious about it. I don't even need to know the answer, the action step. That is my action step, right? Is to just get really, really curious and ask questions. Yeah, get clarity. Focus on that one thing. So when I ask you, Christine, what is that one thing, that one idea that feels like that's next? It feels like it's bigger and brighter than all the others. The others can kind of just fade away into the background, but that one idea, and there's your clarity. And then you can keep moving from there. Focus in on that one thing, right? Get really clear. Yeah, I love that, Christine. Thank you for sharing. And I love you and I adore you as well. Okay, Mocha, I'm going to share with your screen here. Continue to breathe and be okay with just learning and not always doing. Yeah, absorb, right? I was thinking the other day of the difference between knowledge and wisdom. So absorb it, allow it to just kind of be in with you, allow just what you're learning right now to just for the fun of learning, right? Yeah, we were talking, I'll share a little bit. We were talking yesterday about the test out for the Pilates teacher training and not necessarily learning what you're learning to just go test out, but learning what you're learning to embody becoming an amazing Pilates teacher or whatever it is that you might do with this knowledge, that it's not necessarily about just taking, X, Y, and Z and applying it, but let me embody this. Let me feel what this is inside of me so that I can take the wisdom and truly manifest what it is that is part of your wellness, right? Your wellness, I want to use the words that you used, the wellness program. So incorporating all of that. Yeah. Oh, this feels so good. All right. I can feel the ideas flowing. So come back here and share with us all. Let us all celebrate you. All right. Until next time. Love you all.